Hi everyone, my name is Jeff Starr, and this is my YouTube channel, NotBad Films, where I make content about guitars, learning the sitar, and filmmaking. So viewers had left me some comments, and I did a community poll of subscribers and a couple different forums. And viewers and subscribers said that they would like me to make a series of videos about important recordings or other live performances, maybe videos you can find on YouTube of sitar performances that I would recommend checking out and watching, just to sort of help either educate them about that instrument or that music. You asked for it, so I made it. And I'm going to call this series of videos Not Bad Finds, because the channel's Not Bad Films, and these are like things I've found and I think you should watch, right? Okay. If that title needs work, let me know. I'm not totally married to it yet, but that's what it is for right now. Not Bad Finds. Okay. So this is Surbahar Students, a not bad find. For those of you who don't know, the Surbahar is it's similar to a sitar, but it's often called a bass sitar. It's a much larger instrument, and it accommodates a much lower tuning, and it can go much lower than the sitar can. One of the modifications that Ravi Shankar did when he, and sort of his big contribution to the sitar as an instrument, beyond just many other things like being an amazing player and popularizing it in the West, and et cetera, et cetera. That's another topic. One of the big things that he did, though, is he added 2 bass strings to his regular sitar because he wanted to sort of be able to sort of find a way to incorporate the sounds that a Surbahar would normally give you. Well, the Surbahar is an instrument in its own right. It's really beautiful. It's super expressive, but there's not a ton of recordings of it. And finding a full-length performance on YouTube is really hard. There's not a ton to watch. There's maybe some clips here and there, but finding a full-length performance is a little bit difficult. So I found these 2 that I think are very excellent performances to watch, and there's a specific reason that I picked them, because they showcase sort of the very low sounds that this instrument can create in its lop and how expressive it is. But then it also builds up through to some faster passages to show sort of how nimble it is, how it can do incredible bending or meaned, and just, it's like a sitar, but it's not like a sitar. It's a low sitar, but it's not just a low sitar. It also can play higher, notes, and it can be fast. It's just a great instrument. And I thought these 2 recordings really sort of showcase that. These 2 recordings are by 2 really great artists who also happen to share the same teacher, which I think is pretty interesting. That's so YouTube land, if I'm completely wrong on this, please correct me. But it's my understanding that these 2 performers have the same teacher. So our first performer, and once again, if I start butchering pronunciations on names, I'm just a dude from the United States trying to share my appreciation of this music. So hopefully I'm doing my best to get everything pronounced correctly. The first is by Rajiv Janardhan, and this is a more relaxed, sort of intimate performance inside a small space. There's just people, some sitting on the floor. And then the second performance that I've chosen is by Pandit Mukherjee. And if you're familiar with the sitar, you're familiar with Hindustani classical music, you're probably very familiar with him as a performer. He has a lot of great recordings on sitar and Surbahar as well, and is one of the big names of contemporary living sitar performers. Both musicians belong to the Imdad Khani Gharana, and they were trained by Pandit Mukherjee's father, which is kind of interesting. And I want to be very clear, this is not about who's better. This isn't about who's a more masterful performer. This isn't a contest. These are just 2. I love both of these performances. I'm not in any way trying to create a comment war on this page or on either of those 2 separate videos about who's better or not. That's not at all. This is like a celebration of excellence, and is someone like myself who's trying to learn Hindustani classical music and learn how to play a sitar, watching either of these is just like, my mind's like exploding. So you'll see some sort of small variations like between the two. Rajiv, he has, on this hand, he has two misrabs that sort of reminds me of how like an electric bass player might play a bass. So he sort of has a little walking thing with his two fingers. And then Pandit Mukherjee's posture with the Surbahar is he's sort of got his leg up. It's sort of a little more non-conventional. He's more like just sort of like relaxed throughout the whole thing. Rajiv Janardhan's performance is he does these really fast like zips with his arm to jump around. So he might do some bends or some mean work, and then he like zips to the next position and back. And that's just like as these little flourishes, sort of like it seems very like it's sort of puts his voice on things. Pandit Mukherjee has this very like incredible grace to his playing. It's can be very delicate. It seems so effortless, and he takes a lot of time to develop his alap and to it builds. It's more slowly. It's a much longer performance as well. And then the last 2 minutes, he has these incredible little Gayaki sort of Mendi singing parts, and he like would finish the phrase, and I'm like, ah. So I really recommend checking that out. But it's like getting the whole way through it, of course, makes that so much more rewarding. Rajiv Janardhan's performance, there's also like people are sort of in the beginning are kind of sort of getting seated. It's much more like sort of casual. And so from the beginning, maybe he seems like is he a little distracted or not. But then he sort of settles in and it takes off. And when he goes into the lower portion of his alap, it's like, it's really incredible, but it's also like he has a few little tuning peg problems, so it's very relatable. But of course, that doesn't take away from like the musicianship and the control and the playing. It's like just really great. It's just really great. Both of these performances are really amazing, and I think that this is one of the things that I love about YouTube is you can watch both of them online, and you should do so. These are two fantastic Surbahar performances that you should really go and check out, and there are links in the description to jump right to them and go listen to one, find the next link, go listen to the other, load them both up, whatever you want to do, set aside some time, and just go to it. I think, yes. If you like this new series of videos, please click the like button. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe and click on the bell to be notified whenever I post new content. As always, I invite everyone to feel free to come on over to Patreon, where you can help contribute to making these videos possible. And a tremendous thank you to everyone who has already become a patron. I'm really extremely appreciative of that, and I always want to make sure that I make that very clear in every video that I post. So thank you very much. All right, that's it for now. Once again, I'm Jeff Starr. Thank you for watching. Cheers.